All right. Asher, you pronounce Asher? Good.
I'm so not, and I don't have a vaccine.
Let's see if you can pronounce those names, okay, guys? This one is going to be my difficult one, I'm pretty sure.
Victor, my wife is
Annette. Tell me.
My name is Eliezer. My wife's is Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. Eliezer. Where are you from, Eliezer?
Brazil.
So you understand Spanish, huh?
Yeah.
Very good.
Portuñol.
Portuñol. Right. Okay, let's have a percentage. Who can speak Spanish so I can give the class in Spanish? Luis.
My name is Luis, and my wife's name is Ana.
Ana. Chinchin.
Chinchin, that's my name. Make it easier for everyone here. My full name is Jin Liang Lao. That's too big here. Chinchin.
Wow.
My wife is Zhong.
Okay. Okay, let's start with easy. Okay, who can give me 5 names? Not seeing in the paper. Not seeing in the paper. Okay, let's go ahead.
Chinchin.
Uh-huh.
Her wife is Zhong. Yeah. Eliezer and her wife is Jacqueline. Victor. Her wife is Annette. That's Asher.
Asher? That's good. That's good. I'm going to see.
Mark. Alfaro, her wife name. Sarah. No. Yeah. And Javier.
Earl.
That's Melissa.
Melissa. Yes.
Okay.
Yay. Okay. Carla.
Carmen.
Carla.
Jay Young.
Dejan.
Jay Young.
Is that's it.
That's good. That's good.
Juan David.
Juan David.
Was his wife is Sarah.
Good. Excellent. Okay, let's try someone else. Earl. Go ahead, Earl.
Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
Jan?
Becky Young.
Becky. Jan is here with Mark.
Mm-hmm.
TJ and Carly. Sufnat, Asher. Victor.
Mm-hmm.
And Annette. Okay.
Wow.
Eleazar and Jacqueline.
That's good.
Luis and Anna.
Good.
Chinchin. Did you say Cho? Chum. Okay. And Jaeyoung. Oh Young. And then Juan David and Sarah.
Wow. That's pretty good. Excellent. Wow. Who can defeat that, guys? One more. One more. Volunteer. Single guys. Okay, go ahead.
So Earl and Melissa, Jerry and Becky, Dayan and Hoyan, David and Sarah, TJ and Carla, Mac and Asher and Victor and Jacqueline, Eliezer and Jacqueline. No.
Yeah.
Victor and Annette. Don't confuse wives here, guys. This is kind of tricky. Great. Excellent. Wow. That's good. All right. And the last one then. This is the last one. Last one.
We have one online.
Would you like to,
Okay.
if she's single or not? Her name is Zelda.
Okay. Ask her if she's able to tell our names. Is the camera tracking me, Juan David?
Yeah, her husband is Chuck.
Chuck.
Yes, it's tracking me.
Is she? Is this? I don't see it following me. Sometimes it follows, sometimes it doesn't. Is it? See, this is the thing. And so I'm gonna be checking on you over the semester. Don't forget the names. It's, I think it's important. It's not just pastoral, in the sense of, oh, okay, yeah, this guy is so people person and so pastoral. I think it's theological. And it has to do with theology again and again. It has to do with the identity. We are who we are because of our connections with others. Let me introduce then our topic. I'm going to talk a little, just to begin with the class, a little about the importance of Jesus for the New Testament, for the Christian faith. And I have prepared here on a small PowerPoint. Could be useful for our description. The importance of Jesus for Christian theology. In what sense is Jesus importance, or is just another of the areas of Christian theology? Is Jesus central, or is just another category? You know that systematic theology traditionally has been divided in 10 categories, for example. Remember, beginning with theology proper, or beginning with bibliology, theology proper, Christology, pneumatology, angeliology, amartheology, soteriology, anthropology, ecclesiology, and eschatology. More or less, 10, 9, 10 pieces. And so one of those categories is Christology. And sometimes we have learned that, yeah, Jesus is important for that category. It's just that category that we need to concentrate on if you want to know about Jesus. But if that is true, are we really doing justice to what we have in the scripture concerning Jesus? Is Jesus is Jesus only another category of systematic theology? Like studying the church, like studying humans or angels. Is Jesus just like that, another category? Or should we think of Jesus in terms of something more basic, more essential to the whole enterprise of theology? What do you think? If you were to give me, and we're going to do that in next class, you were to give me, for example, the importance of Jesus for identifying who God is, the importance of Jesus for identifying who the Spirit is, the importance of Jesus for identifying who a real angel is, the importance of Jesus for identifying who a real human is, the importance of Jesus for identifying what sin is, what salvation is, what church is, what eschatology is. What is, if I were to give you, for example, like a comprehensive examination here on theology, give you, okay, write for me the importance of Jesus in those different, some of us will be in trouble because we have been taught that Jesus is just one category, important, essential category, but only one category. What I'm proposing to you here is that we need to change that, abandon that. We need to find Jesus and find him in all theology. Everything in theology is connected, influenced, defined by Jesus. Even in the case of the doctrine of the Trinity. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Jesus, of course, I'm not a heretic here. You know, I'm not believing that Jesus is the Father and the Father is Jesus and the Spirit is, you know, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that in order to get to know the Father, you get to know Jesus. I'm saying that in order to get to know the real counselor, the real comforter, the real Spirit, you need to get to know Jesus. What I'm saying is that Jesus is crucial, it's critical. You shouldn't allow yourself as a Christian to, you shouldn't deceive yourself into the idea that you can get to know God in a different way away from Jesus. You know, because that goes against what the scripture tell us over and over. You may have a hint of God, you may have a hint of the Spirit, you may have a hint of what humans are, but in order to define, Christianly speaking, who is God, who is the Spirit, who is even creation, you need to know Jesus, and you need to get to know him very well. Everything is connected to Jesus. You know, the thing is that there are these two realms of reality. What is the ontos of reality, you know, the ontology of reality, and what we can know about reality, the epistemology of reality. You know, there are these two things. Of course, within this first realm, you find the triune God. We know there are three in one there. That's the ontology of reality. But how do you know this reality? How do you get to know this reality of the triune God? In this other realm, the realm of epistemology, the realm of how do you know, Jesus is essential to get to know this triune God. Without this realm, there's no way for you to get to know this other. This is the doctrine of revelation in another sense. Revelation has to do with you being mediated. Jesus is the mediator in that sense of God, because it is only through him that you can get to real God. No one can tell you, Christianly speaking, that he can get to God by means of a shortcut. You need to follow that. So again, the importance of Jesus for Christian theology has to do with the central point. And here I isolate several points that later on will be developed a little bit more as we go with the class. First, check what Paul says here. Without Jesus, no one can experience conversion. Paul's knowledge of the law and zealous attitude were not enough to get to know God. I mean, someone may say, well, but what about the Old Testament, where Jesus, the historical person of Jesus, is not present? Okay. How do you really get to know God without Jesus? Do you really need Jesus to get to know God? What do you need in order to get to know God according to the experience of Paul? You get to know the law? Sure. Paul knew the law, and very well. Was that enough? Paul was, according to his own description, Philippians 3, he was, ethically speaking, committed to God like no one else. Was that enough to get to know God? What happened instead? Someone who really knows the scriptures, someone who is sincerely committed, devoted, experienced in Judaism. What we find is Paul that didn't get to know God as he really is. He needed to experience conversion. Conversion to what? To whom? To Jesus. So one of the things that I'm going to say in a moment too here is where do we start studying theology? Do we start in the Genesis account? The Exodus account? With Abraham? Before eternity? Where do we start? And again, my suggestion for you, theological suggestion for you, is that you need to start studying theology the same way you start your Christian life. You start with Jesus. You converted to the family of God because of what Jesus did for you. And when you come up to that realization, you come to this understanding, then you start doing something new in your life. And that's the way of doing it. That's the same order, at least what I'm proposing for you when doing theology. According to the Gospel of John, Jesus identified himself as the door, the entrance. Entrance to what? Where do you want to go into? Where is it that you want to go in for which Jesus is the door? Into the presence of God, into the family of God, into the knowledge of God? Sure, but Jesus says, I'm the door. You cannot go in if you don't go through me. Maybe is he talking more than just simply his historical appearance here? Has he in mind something else related to the way we understand things and telling us that, understand things about God and telling us that Jesus is even the one who helps us understand God in that dimension? You see what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say. When Jesus says, no one can come to the Father except by me. I'm the door. There's no other way. If you want to go all the way, you will completely miss the whole thing. So is Jesus the door or not? Or he is just a window? Or he is just another, door, one of the doors. Moses being one, Jesus being another. Paul believes that everything is futile if Jesus is not alive. The critical position of Jesus here? Hey guys, you would need to tell me about the time, okay?
Yes, sir, we have 2 more minutes.
Okay. See, this is what I like about the class on Jesus. Always the time is not enough. Paul believes that everything is futile if Jesus is not alive. How do you like that? Everything is futile if Jesus is not alive. You tell me. Then talk to me about Abraham. Then talk to me about Adam. Then talk to me about Moses. Then talk to me about anything else. If Jesus is not alive, it's futile. Period. How do you like that? This is. I can understand why Paul, when confronting Judaism and the other expert will sound like, wow, this is really harsh. If Jesus is not alive, who cares about what you're doing? Jesus is central for this. Jesus is the foundation of the church, upon which everything else is edified. Everything else is edified upon the foundation of Jesus. Everything else, no exception. 1 Corinthians 3 and Ephesians 4. Okay, I'm going to stay there because I have 20 of this. And I'll just mention 4. And the better ones are coming. Jesus is essential or not? Is he, theologically speaking? Yes, he is. He is the Alpha and, meaning, what is before Alpha and Omega? Nothing. So let's stay there, guys, and see if we can. If you have any question, please let me know during this time. We gave you some time for, choosing or changing the topics if you want it, but not beyond this week, because we don't want to have any kind of confusion and people changing last minute. That's not right. Okay, let me know if there's some change with your topic by tomorrow. Will be fine. Tomorrow will be fine, just in case you have. Right. God bless you, and remember to smile at me when outside the classroom.